Hi, I'm Cynthia. This is a home practice sequence that's accessible and available to all people, all levels of people. To start the practice, we're going to sit for a moment. Sometimes in class, the teacher does ohms or some sort of invocation or chant. Today, we're not going to do one out loud, but if you would like to, feel free. So start in a comfortable, seated, cross-legged position. We call this swastikasana. I've taken some height, which allows me to get the lift of my upper body. So if you have some blankets or a bolster you want to sit on, please do. Then press your palms together in front of your chest in the Atmanjali Mudra. Raise your chest and close your eyes. Take a couple of deeper inhalation breaths, deeper exhalation breaths. Checking in with yourself. Then bow your head down towards your heart. Release your hands to your lap, palms facing up. Inhale, lift your head and open your eyes. Come up to standing. First pose will be Tadasana, mountain pose. Join your toes, and to the best of your ability, join your heels. Tadasana is the art of standing. So none of us stands in this perfectly symmetrical, aligned shape. This shape should help you to lift and open and extend your body up. So be firm in your feet, balancing the weight from heel to heel, from left to right, and balancing your weight from the heel to the ball of the foot. Then raise your arms up to Urdhva Hastasana, arms extended. As you raise your arms up, don't lose your touch, don't lose your awareness in your feet. Straighten your arms and extend your fingertips vibrantly towards the ceiling. Exhale, release your arms down. Now, we're going to do the same pose, but by bringing the arms out to the side. Bringing the arms out to the side with the hands in line with the shoulders. Turn your palms towards the ceiling. Extend your arms all the way up. If you can, join your palms without bending your elbows, then do so now. Pressing the palms together, reach up through the fingertips. And then release. Back to Tadasana. Urdhva Padanguli Asana, which is upward bound hands pose. So interlace your hands, press your palms forward, drop your shoulders down, and then inhale, lift your arms up. This time pressing through your wrists. So as you ground your feet into the floor, press your palms onto the ceiling. Keep the breath moving, normal inhalation, normal exhalation breath. Then release. Change sides. So we all have a natural way of putting our hands together. Change so the other index finger's on top. Press your palms out in front of you again. Surrender your shoulders down. Strongly pressing through your legs, raise your arms up. Use your arms and legs to get a strong extension in your torso, expanding your ribs and allowing the breath to begin to move more freely. Release. And back to Tadasana. The next pose is Vrikshasana, which means tree pose. It's a balancing pose. I'm going to do it in the middle of the room, and then I'm going to show you how to do it with support. Turn your right leg out. Stand firmly on your left leg. Then bend your right leg. Reach down, grab your ankle, and pull your foot up as high as you can. Stay strong in your standing leg. So your standing leg is supporting the bent leg and pressing through the ball of the big toe and pressing through the heel in the bent leg. So your legs are as firm as they were in Tadasana. Then raise your arms up. Release. Back to Tadasana. Now I'm going to do the other side using the wall. So if you're having trouble balancing and you want to work on the stability in your legs, simply use a wall. Now I'm not leaning into the wall, but cupped fingertips up the wall. Turning the left leg out, bend your leg, pull the foot up. Pull your standing leg hip away from the wall and press firmly with the foot of the bent leg. Reach your arm up, go up, grounding your foot like the trunk. This is the trunk of the tree, so grounding your foot into the floor. Raise your arms towards the ceiling and then balance. So now you've proven to yourself, I can balance in this pose. You can go back to practicing it without the wall. Tadasana. Uttita Trikonasana. Triangle pose, extended triangle pose. If you have a knee or hip problem, please walk. Otherwise, jump. Bringing your fingertips together, bend your knees, jump your legs wide apart. Lining up your wrist with your ankles, with the toes facing forward. Then turn your left toes in, turn your right leg out. Line your right heel up with your left arch. Keeping your legs strong and firm, exhale and come down to your right. With your right hand, grab onto your shin. Instead of leaning into your arm, leaning into your leg, press your arm into your leg and lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Then, keeping your legs strong, inhale, come up. Bring your toes to the front. Walk or jump your feet together. Tadasana. Now, on the other side, I'm going to show you with a prop. Using the block for the hand. I have it on the highest height. Now, turning your left toes in and your right leg out. Sorry, your right toes in, your left leg out. Strong in the legs. On the back leg, press your outer heel down. On the front leg, press the ball of your big toe down. Then, exhale, come down and take your hand onto the brick. Now, the brick is not to be leaned into, but pressed up out of. So push your fingertips, press your hand into the brick, raise your chest up towards the ceiling. Then, turn your head and look up past your top hand. Strong legs. Inhale, come up. Turn to the front. Walk or jump your feet together. And come back to Tadasana. Use this Tadasana now as a diagnostic. What has shifted? What has transformed as you went through those asymmetrical poses? Next pose is Uttita Parsvakonasana, which is side angle pose. I'm going to keep the brick handy there. Don't use the brick because you always use the brick, but if you need the brick to perform the pose in a way that's more nourishing and illuminative, then use it. Again, walking your legs apart, jumping your legs apart. Turn your left toes in, your right leg out. Bend your right leg, come to Warrior Two. As you come to Warrior Two, line your knee, your bent leg knee, over your foot, without losing the contact of your straight leg heel. Now, there's a lot of effort required in this Warrior Two pose, particularly in the hips. So keep that warrior leg effort in your hips as you exhale and take your hand down. Now, if you're collapsing into the arm, if you can't reach the floor, then use the brick. So you have something to press up out of. Turn your palm and extend your arm over your head, creating the side angle for which the pose is named. On an inhalation, come up. And we'll go directly to the other side. So we'll use the brick on the other side. Turn the back toes in. Front leg out. And again, come through Warrior Two. So Warrior Two trains us to have that stability and lift in the hips. Don't lose that. Reach way out to the side. Take your hand down. Now, press your bottom arm down into the floor. Raise your top arm up. Keeping your chest open, then turn and extend your arm. Inhale, come up. Turn to the front. Jump your feet together. Tadasana. Now, I'm going to take a little breath here. You may need to take a little breath as well. So filling your chest as you inhale and exhale, releasing your shoulders. Next pose is a pose called Parsvottanasana. It means intense stretch of the flank of the body. I'm going to turn my mat and upset my cameraman. So that I can take my back heel to the wall. So with my back heel to the wall, I'm going to walk my front leg, in this case my right leg, forward. Now my hips are in a different plane. They're facing out forward, the normal way that we face with our hips. The actions of the legs are the same though. So on the back leg, lean back and ground your heel into the floor. On the front leg, ball the big toe presses down. Raising your chest, roll your shoulders back, and then exhale and extend forward. As you extend forward, don't let your hips come forward. The legs continue to press back towards the wall. Chest extends forward. And strong legs come up. Walk your feet back together. And we'll do the other side. Now I'm going to show you another arm position for the arms. So if you were able to easily balance in the pose, take your arms behind you into Baddha Hastasana. If you're doing Baddha Hastasana on both sides, bound hands on both sides, then when you change legs, you would change the arms clasp as well. Ground the back heel by leaning back. Press the ball, the big toe on the front leg down, and then keeping your legs straight, push your legs back towards the wall, reach your chest forward. Now, roll your shoulders up towards the ceiling, extend your arms back. Then inhale, come up, walk your feet together, release your arms, come back to Tadasana. Next pose, I'm going to move the mat again. Prasarita Parattanasana. Wide leg forward extension. Walk or jump your legs wide apart. Use the mat or the floorboards. If you're not using a mat, perfectly fine. Use the mat or the floorboards to line your heels up so your legs are in the same line. Now, have your legs a little wider than you did in the other standing poses, but not so wide that you can't get any leverage in the legs. Just like you did in Tadasana, balance the weight from the heel to the ball of the foot, and balance your weight from leg to leg. Just like you did in the last pose that we did, Parsvottanasana. Stay strong in the legs and allow the legs to move back as you stretch your chest forward. And take your fingertips to the floor. If you cannot reach the floor, then take 2 bricks. I have 1 brick here. Take 2 bricks. So you have something to press your arms into and get the lift of your chest. Then taking the head down towards the floor. Legs strong. If you lose the strength in your legs, you will take it in your lower back. So keep your kneecaps lifted and the quadriceps actively working. Bend your elbows, walk your hands back, stretch your chest towards the floor, round your upper back, and bring your head down. Again, if your head does not reach the floor, bring the floor to you. Once you're in the pose, once your head is down, raise your shoulders up, release your head down. To come up, extend your chest, straighten your arms, take your hands to your hips, inhale, come up. Walk your feet back together. Next pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. going to change the mat again. I'm going to start with a less strenuous version of the pose. It's more like half Uttanasana. This is good for people if you have lower back problems, or if you're having a shoulder problem and you can't put a lot of weight on your arm. You'll take your hands to the wall. Now this is in my way, so I'm going to just move. You'll take your hands to the wall. Aligning your heels and your knees and your hips in one line, your hips, your shoulders, and your hands in one line. Press the thighs back. Engage those quadriceps by lifting the kneecaps. Straighten your arms. Press your palms into the wall, keeping your ears in line with the upper arms, in line with the spine. Extend the side body. And then to come up, walk forward. Now, same actions in Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're going to do it with the hands towards the wall. I'm going to show you the position of the hands. If this is the wall, my thumb and index finger are at the wall like this. So I turn my hands out, splitting the thumb and index finger at the wall. I'm aligning my wrist with my shoulder. Straighten the legs, I come up. Press the palms firmly into the floor, firmly into the wall, and press the thighs way back. So you're still trying to get that long extension from the armpits to the waist. Release the head towards the floor. Bend your knees to come out, and come up. And next pose. Next pose is Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. It means upward extended legs. This is going to be a resting pose. And I'm going to show you a couple different versions that you can do. The first and easiest version is just to simply take your legs up the wall. You may or may not need a blanket for underneath your head. How do you know? If your head is tilted back and you're straining your neck, then better to use a blanket. If you have tight hamstrings and your hips are way up like this and you're having trouble keeping your legs straight, then better to use a chair. I don't have a chair here, but if I had a chair, I would rest my legs onto the seat of the chair. Or Viparita Karani. Bolster or several blankets can be used. In this version, the chest is more lifted. Stay here for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to your capacity. Come out of the pose. Roll off the bolster to the side. Finally, Shavasana. Shavasana means corpse pose. If you don't have a lot of time, or you're doing this first thing in the morning and you're on your way to work, it's not necessary to do a very long Shavasana. You're using the Shavasana not as a relaxation pose, but more as a way to integrate the work that you did in your practice. Just like we had the art of standing in Tadasana, here we have the art of laying down. So, centering yourself in your mat, take a blanket for your head. Use your hands to extend your lower back and reach your legs out. Now look down and see, are my legs indeed in the same line? And then let the legs go. With the arms, grab onto the sides of the mat to roll your shoulders under. Turn your palms towards the ceiling and take your arms away from your body until you feel your upper chest open. Close your eyes. As we started, go back to your breath. It's difficult to observe the breath without wanting to change the breath. But can you simply watch as the breath moves in and out? Relaxing your body and keeping your mind present in your body with your own breath. You may stay 1 to 3 minutes on your own. Keep your head down, place your hands onto your chest, bend your knees, roll to your right side. Use your arms to sit up and come back to the seated position we began in, Swastikasana. Join your palms, fill your chest, close your eyes. Join me in dedicating this practice to the benefit of all beings everywhere by chanting Om and Shanti 3 times all together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I bow to the divine within you. Namaste.